Howdy folks, I'm Golden Gorse Wildflowers, gleefully guarding glittering green goblins.
I'm Birthday Princess Amber.
And here are more glittering green, oh, I can't say words, for us to guard. Goblins, there's lots of them, and they're eating my feet. I don't know why, I don't know how, but at least I'm not the birthday person. So, there. Happy birthday, Amber.
Thank you.
Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Sending My Brother's Fiancée a Video of Him Hiding Her Ring? As my brother's wedding was in 2 months, last week, my parents hosted a small engagement party. Just family, and a couple of friends, and nothing too fancy. While in, his fiancée took off her ring in the kitchen because she was helping our mom wash dishes. She put it on a small plate near the sink, and 22 minutes later, the ring was gone. Panic set in. Everyone looked under the table, in the trash, in the pipe. She was crying. Then my brother said that I was the last one to touch the counter near the sink. That was almost true. I'd been helping Mom clear away glasses and had moved a couple of plates, but I hadn't seen her ring. I told him so. My brother replied that he wasn't accusing me, but if anyone had accidentally knocked it into the sink or trash, it would be better to say so now. After that, everyone started asking if I was sure I hadn't seen a small plate. My mom asked if I might have accidentally thrown a napkin next to the ring. No one called me a thief, but they made me the convenient scapegoat while my brother stood nearby, playing the concerned fiancé. Well, we checked everywhere, but no sign of the ring was found. Later, I remembered that my parents have a camera by the back door, and I asked my dad to send me the footage. I got a video showing my brother walking into the kitchen, taking the ring from the plate, looking at it, putting it in his pocket, and then a couple of minutes later, coming out and saying the ring was gone. I called him, and he said that he wanted to teach his fiancée a lesson so that she's more careful. I told him that he had until the morning to confess on his own and say sorry to me for accusing. He refused and asked me to delete the video and didn't even say that he regretted doing so. In the morning, I sent the recording to his girlfriend. I don't know what they had for an argument, but now he says that I ruined the relationship because of a stupid check. Mom thinks that I should have given him another chance, but from my perspective, he not only tricked his fiancée into hiding the ring, but also tried to make me feel guilty for his own game. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, absolutely not the jerk. You were very much within your right to do this, and I'm glad you did. His fiancée deserves to know what kind of a person he is. This whole, oh, I needed to teach her a lesson, like, she's your partner, not your child. You do not need to teach her a lesson. It is very common and normal for people to take rings off when they are, like, chopping vegetables and, like, doing other kitchen-y stuff so they don't get gunk ground into the ring setting or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what lesson he was trying to teach her, but, you know, what she was doing was totally normal and better for the ring in the long term.
Well, the lesson he was trying to teach her was that he'll be manipulative and try to gaslight people any chance that he gets.
Like, this was such a gross game to play, and then try and pin it on OP on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
what was his objective? It just seems like he wanted to both make OP look bad and then also the girlfriend to... feel upset about losing it. I don't know.
If I had to guess, he was going to, like, scoop in the next day and, oh, I found this. And then he saved the day. But then he can also be like, but don't ever take your ring off, because if you do, then this is going to happen again.
Yeah, or say, oh, I found it in OP stuff.
Oh, I mean...
Maybe he's trying to make OP look bad for some reason,
I
too.
mean, that is even more devious, but it could be.
Like, there has to be a reason why he included OP in on this, right?
I mean, I think it was just to get, my guess would be that it was to get the shade off of him.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Buying My Own Wedding Ring? About 2 years ago, my wedding ring that I had been wearing for the past 7 years broke at the band. I guess that it was too thin in the band area, even though it is solid gold and there's absolutely nothing wrong with the ring, except that it broke, and it was already starting to fit me pretty big anyways, because I had lost some weight. So for the past year, I have been wearing costume wedding rings that lose color after 2 months of wearing, because I really wanted to have a wedding ring, but a couple of months in, and I kind of got tired of having to switch out my ring so many times. So I completely, altogether stopped wearing a ring. I've spoken to my husband on various occasions about how a ring is important to me, and it's important to have a ring, and he would always tell me that it's not that big of a deal. You don't need to have a ring, as it's not about a ring, and what truly matters is our love. You don't need to be wearing a ring to prove that we love each other. He grew up in a different country to me, so that I would always have to explain to him that here in the US, having a ring is super important. And most women dream and talk about the ring ever since they are young. And it's truly a big deal. And it is a big deal to me. And I'm not a materialistic person. It doesn't matter to me whether the ring is $1,000 or $200. And I actually have been wanting a moissanite ring for a long time, which you can get one for around $200. I have been waiting patiently through my birthday, even though other holidays, and waiting to see if he would give me the ring. But he didn't, besides spending so much on other gifts that easily could have went towards a ring. I never saw that he reassured me or even said at any moment that he was going to buy the ring at any point. He never gave me the reassurance, so it always felt like to me like the ring was not that important to him and he was not going to buy me the ring. So recently I got fed up and I decided that I was going to buy the ring myself. And that's exactly what I did. I purchased the ring. But after I purchased the ring, he expressed to me that he felt upset that I had purchased the ring because he was planning on giving me the ring for my birthday, which was in a couple of months. I asked him why he didn't try to stop me from buying the ring by simply saying so. Babe, I'm going to buy you the ring. Don't worry, just be patient. He never said that to me. He just said, go ahead and buy the ring. So again, this played into my feelings of he doesn't really care about the ring. So am I the jerk for buying my own wedding ring? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk, and he wasn't going to buy you the ring. He's saying now that he was going to, as a way to like guilt trip you and like make you feel bad for buying the ring. But
Yeah.
It was never coming. He had no intention of buying you the ring. He's told you repeatedly that he doesn't value it. But the important thing here is it matters to you. It shouldn't matter if he thinks rings are silly and trivial. What matters is that you really wanted this ring. It's an important symbol of the relationship to you, and he should have been willing to accommodate that.
Well, that's it. This is maybe not important to him, but it's important to you, and that's really what this boils down to. And I agree with Amber's assessment here. I don't really read this as him, going to buy the birthday present for her. I think that he was just using that as an excuse to try and guilt her and be like, look, you should have been patient. If you had just been patient, I would have bought it, right? But I just don't see that. I mean, OP's been asking and asking and asking, and he hasn't made any, move to buy it. And like OP said, he didn't even try to stop OP from buying it, which if you were going to, then you would have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to get my girlfriend her favorite snacks while on her period? And Amber wants to read this one.
My girlfriend has bad periods and her cravings are Cheetos and ice cream. She frequently experiences worse period cramps because of the said snacks. How do I know this? I've been with her 3 years, and every single time she gets them, she complains more and is in greater visible pain than when she doesn't get them. However, she wants me to get them, but I told her, I'm not going to intentionally and knowingly get you something that will make you experience more pain. So if you want them, you can go get them, but I'm not going to get them for you. So instead of Cheetos and ice cream, I got her some rice and fruits, which are better for her during her period. She got mad and threw a tantrum and told me I don't love her. Am I the jerk? Important edit. She agrees certain foods like Cheetos and ice cream do make her feel worse, by the way. She just says she doesn't care, lol. All right, jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. I mean, he's doing this as in her best interest. And I mean, basically, like, she's acting like a child. So, like, why wouldn't he buy her? I'm just kidding, folks. I was just seeing how long it would take before Amber smote me down.
I was going to actually be like, wrong answer.
I don't think that he is thinking about this in a way that gives her agency. And he is expecting, like, yeah, sure, she might feel better, But there's a lot of people who would feel better if they didn't drink, Friday night and get a hangover the next day, right? But a lot of people would OP buy her a drink or something like that, right? And my guess is probably a lot of people drink, and he probably would buy her a drink or something like that, even though somebody might feel worse the next day from having an alcoholic drink or any other number of substances, right? And I think that OP is, just narrowing down on this one very small facet of people's lives. Maybe he's a health freak. Maybe he's very health conscious and wouldn't, consume alcohol. I know I'm reaching here and being very speculative, but it just feels very infantilizing to say, oh, you can't have this because I say so.
Yeah, well, I really don't like how he is taking away her agency. Like, she is in pain and miserable, and he's like, well, she could get it herself, but like, if these are really bad period pains, no, it's not easy to get up and go to the store. Like, that could feel like an impossible task. And also, correlation does not equal causation. It could be that when she's having worse period symptoms is when she has the strongest cravings for Cheetos and ice cream. And she is just already feeling worse anyway. Like, there are times when she's not craving these things, like it could just be that her hormonal levels are different, or, things aren't going as badly, because menstrual cycles can vary, and like, there's not always a rhyme or reason for it.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Mildly inconvenienced.
I mean, I think that works. Heaven forbid he be mildly inconvenienced and have to go to the store and get her Cheetos and ice cream, and then deal with her being grumpy because she has a period.
Yeah. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Boyfriend refused to buy pads for me. Am I the jerk for being mad? Long story short, today, when we woke up, I went to the bathroom and noticed that I was on my period. It came a week earlier than expected, hence why I didn't have any pads in the house. While using the toilet, I asked my boyfriend if he could run to the store and grab me some. The Family Dollar is literally 2 minutes from the house. He gets annoyed and says I'm not doing that. He doesn't want to do that and suggested to rather take me so that I could go and get them, while cramping and bleeding with no pad. Am I the jerk for feeling annoyed and turned off? I get that maybe he doesn't want to make a run to the store this early, but it would have been super quick. Anyways, I just ordered them via DoorDash, and they got here in 5 minutes. He didn't even offer to buy them, at least. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk, and dump him. I mean, a guy who is just like fussed about buying pads, like what else is he going to not buy for you because he's too squeamish or it's inconvenient or any number of things?
If he's going to be in a relationship with someone who requires sanitary pads, then I mean, that's really what it's going to require, is every once in a while going out and buying those pads, right? And I think that if he's this embarrassed by doing this, then what's that going to be like for the future? I mean, he really needs to kind of get over this. And I mean, I understand that it might be uncomfortable, but no one out there is judging him for buying pads, right?
No one's going to judge him negatively unless they're like losers. Like any reasonable person is gonna be like, oh, he's buying pads for someone in his life, and like that's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Only other people like the boyfriend and be like, why is this guy buying pads? That's so weird.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for giving a flower to another woman's boyfriend in the grocery store? I was at the grocery store buying flowers for my partner, and I was standing in line with the bouquet in my cart. The guy behind me noticed them, struck up a conversation, and eventually said something like, your partner is really lucky. I've actually never gotten flowers before. I kind of laughed it off at first, but he seemed genuinely serious, and it honestly made me feel kind of sad. So I took one of the flowers out of the bouquet, and I handed it to him, and I said, well, now you have. He looked really surprised and grateful, and for a second, I thought that it was just a nice little human moment. I had seen him standing with a woman. I assumed that they were together, but I didn't really think a flower would be an issue, as we had already established the flowers were for my partner. Well, she got upset and asked why I was giving her boyfriend a flower. She seemed to think that it was inappropriate and flirty, even though that genuinely was not my intention at all. I tried to explain that I was just trying to make a kind gesture, but she kept pushing. I apologized, and I said that I didn't mean anything by it, but she still seemed annoyed, and now I'm wondering if I crossed a line without realizing it. For some context, I wasn't trying to flirt. I don't know either of them, and I was literally in line buying the flowers for my own partner. I'm not used to public confrontations like that, so the whole thing has me a bit confused. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, absolutely not the jerk. You were just doing a nice thing for someone else. And if she's upset, maybe she should try buying her partner some flowers. Like, it sounds like that's something he genuinely wants, to the point where he's talking to a stranger in the grocery store about it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this had been a previous conversation and she's more annoyed at the boyfriend for bringing it up or something like that. Maybe he's been like, well, babe, why don't you get me flowers ever or something like that. Or maybe this is something that they fight about. And so a random person giving him flowers just inflamed like this conversation that they were already having on the side. So I mean, I don't think that OP has anything to do with their business at all. They were doing something that was kind. They didn't do this on purpose to annoy anyone, so I can't really fault them at all. I think that they are well within the right. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why did the computer arrive late for work?
Oh, I know why the computer arrived late for work, because it doesn't have legs and it also doesn't have wheels, and so it wasn't able to drive itself, and it's not an autonomous car, and so it was just kind of like spinning its wheels.
As I said, it didn't have wheels.
Well, I mean, look, figuratively, not literally, because of course it doesn't have wheels, right?
It had a hard drive.
Oh, and I have some peach tea. Ooh. It's a special guest tea, and it's from Amber's collection of teas that she bought herself. It's called Country Peach Passion. It's from Celestial Seasonings, and of course this is going to be mirrored for you, but it isn't mirrored for me. We live in the mirror realm, folks. And it's an herbal tea, caffeine-free, and its ingredients are orange peel as the first ingredient. You know, it doesn't really taste all that orangey. Rose hips, hawthorn, chamomile, natural peach flavoring with other natural flavors, blackberry leaves, hibiscus, peaches, citric acid, and paprika for the coloring. And I mean, honestly, it does taste a little bit orangey now that they mention it. But overall, it's a pretty good peach tea. I like it. I like it a lot.
And today is a very special day. It is Letter A day. I thought that was fitting for my birthday, so this is just a little letter A my mom gave me as like a good luck charm at one of my events, and so I've had it on my desk ever since.
Yeah, I mean, it's Amber's birthday. That's the special day.
I mean, I guess.
And yes. It can be letter A day as well. Both are synonymous.
I wanted to pull something off my desk, and this was like the closest thing I had.
So happy birthday to Amber.
Thank you. I should put on my crown for the outro.
Yes, and everyone go and buy Amber's books.
Yes. The next one comes out in June.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Fantastic Friday, folks.
Happy Friday.
And folks, we do not have a live stream today because we are actually at an event right now, or maybe at an event right now, depending on when you're watching this. So maybe later on in the day we're at an event. So no live stream. And we will get back to the live streams and the weekend episodes after this weekend. So we're going to not do this this weekend, but next weekend we will be back on schedule. So you'll have 7 days of us to deal with. So.
But we'll be hanging out with a bunch of main horror authors. I've been invited to be on a panel. So if you're in the Bangor area, you can come and hang out with us.
Yes. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have a birthday wish.
For my birthday wish, I wish that people would all just be nice to each other.
That's a good birthday wish. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!